I'm Sarah Solerti. I'm a senior support consultant in third line support at RM. My sort of main role is I'm a point of escalation for the second line engineers that seek assistance. Um, Main mission really is to fix anything that comes my way and try to do it in a sort of timely manner and make sure everyone can carry on learning. I wouldn't necessarily say I have had any barriers that I've experienced. On the whole, sort of my time at RM has been sort of pretty pain-free, really, gender-wise. Um, what I have sort of noticed over the years, though, would be when speaking to people, they're sort of surprised that I'm female in the team, particularly when I'd say talking over the phone. I've had a few reactions as, "Oh, you're female," but they've never really been negative reactions. It's always been something like, "Oh, it's quite nice to speak to a female. It makes a nice change to speak to a female." So I've had quite a bit of that, but I wouldn't necessarily say I've had barriers or challenges really for being female. I'd say primarily for the team, it makes the team more rounded if you got people that sort of represent every sort of minority and females as well, because I am currently the only female in the team, and I think it does make the team appear sort of less intimidating and more approachable. Certainly for sort of first and second line female engineers that might want to speak to someone or escalate something. I think in the past, when it's been a completely sort of male team, myself as a second line engineer, that would then have escalated to third line. Sometimes you do find it a little bit intimidating, so I think it does make it more approachable, and it sort of conveys that we're sort of more inclusive as a team and as a company, really, on the whole. It's quite difficult for companies to do that, I guess. I think a lot of influence needs to really start down lower in education to ensure that sort of females are given the opportunities and are sort of really encouraged into those opportunities, to make sure that they don't dismiss having a career in a field that's historically been male dominated. Yes, I think I would say RM is, purely from my experience. When I started working at RM, I joined on a part-time basis, and I worked for 4 days a week. I had a young daughter, and I wanted to have the flexibility of being able to spend some time with her while she was young, as well as having a career to fulfill what I needed to do as well. RM were completely accepting of me being able to do this, and as my daughter grew older, I altered my hours several times over the years to just accommodate the changing needs. So I moved from working 4 days a week to working 5 days a week, but over school hours, so it enabled me to take her to school and pick her up. And every time I'd put a request in for that, RM was really flexible and fully supported me every time I made a request. I would say, yep, go for it. If it's something that you're interested in, and if it's something that you've been given the opportunity and encouraged down that road, then certainly just seize every opportunity. Lower down at school, I was quite interested in IT and quite enjoyed that. But as I got older, I think that I tended to steer more towards sort of the arty subjects, and I took a year out between A-levels in university, and I found myself just working in a junior IT support position, just whilst I was really deciding what I wanted to do with my life. And from there, I was given the opportunity, because I was female, to do some Microsoft training. This was through an Oxford women's charity that were looking for females that were in roles that were sort of really male dominated. And I did lots of training, and I got my MCSE, and I was still sort of in this junior IT support position, which was then what sort of prompted me to look elsewhere. And then I ended up in RM. So I was able to then use the skills that I'd been studying for the last sort of few years there. My interpretation of it, which hopefully is right, is that those that are in a marginalised group are given more tools to be able to succeed to the same level as those who are perhaps in a more privileged situation.